Well, Siyambonga Mdubeki has written a play entitled ISILILO. It's about the Life Esidimeni tragedy. The play focuses on what transpired, and you'll remember the scandal involved the deaths of over 100 psychiatric patients after they were transferred from Life Esidimeni facilities to those ill-equipped NGOs around Gauteng. Our producer and writer for ISILILO, Siyambonga Mdubeki, joins us now in studio. Thanks very much for coming in. And I want to say what a wonderful thing you've done by paying tribute and memorializing what happened. You know, we were also shocked by what happened during those Life Esidimeni transfers. Tell us what it was like working on the play when you were still in the process of writing.
It was a very emotional journey because I had to, for me to be able to write the story that I wrote, I had to meet up with the families that were affected by Life Esidimeni. And this is still very new to them. And when you ask them questions about what happened, it's like you're asking them to relive those moments. So it was a very emotional journey, but I'm very thankful to the families because they were very willing to share those stories, which is why I was able to make the play that I made.
Wow. And I understand that the play, was it, did it premiere this past weekend? Is
yes,
that correct?
Yes, we actually had our last day yesterday at the Market Theatre, but it's probably going to come back very soon.
Well, we certainly hope so. And what about the people who were involved, you know, the people who played certain characters in the play? It must have been very hard for them as well.
Yeah, but we all went through a research trying to find out all those possible tools that we can use to enhance the story. It was a difficult journey. Like, for instance, on Thursday we had a viewing for the families that were directly affected. And, it was very emotional. Because for them, they said to us, we are actually trying, we are letting them relive those moments that they had forgotten about. So it's like we are taking them back to the moment that has passed already.
Well, in fact, we also had a chance to speak to some of the family members who lost loved ones. Let's perhaps just take a listen to that clip.
Play namhlanje bengisengizoyibuka okwesi-2 namhlanje. Ngokwami ukubona ngibona ngathi izoba umlomo wethu thina abantu ama-families we-Life Esidimeni ngokuthi ugovernment wethu ngathi usithathela phansi ngalendlela yokuthi babona ngathi njengoba basicompensatile yonke into seyi-right, and sisadinga ukuthi kube ne-justice ngemindeni yethu eyalahleka. So ngibona ngathi this play izosenzela i-justice.
The play is nice because it reminds us of what happened to our beloved children. It's also hurting because we were in the event of forgetting of what has happened during Life Esidimeni in those years.
I got to expose myself to a certain extent where I lost my younger sister who had a disability. She was epileptic and she was lost into the system, I like to put it, because she was sent to hospital and she never came back, and there was never an explanation from the hospital as to what happened. But her body was bruised with blood veins all over her, but no one explained what was going on. So our family just concluded that clearly she was given wrong medication, because how does someone go to hospital and just die without any explanation?
Sure. I don't know if you've seen that kind of reaction before, but that must mean a lot to you.
It means a lot. It was the first time having that interaction with the families, because we have never showed it to the families since we started working on it. So it was the first time having that interaction and having them to tell us how they feel about this play.
Just some of the things that the family said there. This play is a mouthpiece for the family. It's keeping the memory alive of those who died. And this play is about justice. Is that what you intended? These are all incredibly big feats.
Yes, those were our intentions. We felt like it is going to be the same as other incidents where something happens and then a few days after we've forgotten about it and we move on. So because our role as theatre makers is to make sure that we mirror the society. So we are trying so that we can have this conversation so that justice can be served, so that this doesn't die like other stories that have happened before.
So you've told me that you've had an incredibly short run at the Market Theatre, just 3 or 4 days over this past week. Surely that cannot be the final run. What do you need so that you can put on a longer run at the theatre?
Because at this point in time, the show is self-produced. We don't have anyone from the outside funding us. We're doing it ourselves. So the only way we could have a longer run, at this time we just had like a 4-day run. For us to have a longer run, we need producers. We need people who can fund the project to say, okay, this is what we have. We want you guys to run for as long as you want to, so that we can be able to get it to all the people that we want to, for them to see this play. Because it just needs money.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's hope that the right people are listening to this interview.
I hope so too.
Siyambonga Mdubeki, thanks very much for coming in. The play is entitled ISILILO, and it is around what transpired at the time of the Life Esidimeni tragedy. Incredibly important work. I'll have